Back. So I realized just because things were really difficult, emotionally and otherwise. I mean, they wouldn't be emotionally difficult if the circumstances themselves didn't make things difficult. Beginning with my own life and everything, and then of course the all the complications in the recent, in the yeah, in the recent 11 to 12 months, and that's totally excluding my separation from the love of my life and the children. So, in that moment of, I wouldn't call it weakness, but realization that anything can happen and I don't know what can happen to me and how, either good or the bad, right? Um, Normally, when we feel like that, maybe, if you feel like you might perish, we all desire to tell our loved ones that we love them, that we're sorry for what we did to them, that we're grateful for all of our lives with them and stuff like that. So I basically wrote to my son the same thing, that I don't want him to worry about me, that I really don't want to cause him any negative emotions, but still want him to know that I love him. However, of course, kids are kids. We all cause emotional stress to our children, whether we know it or not. So he couldn't sleep the whole night, and then later told me this. The next morning, he sent me a message that woke me up and kind of also shook me in two ways. So it was very touching, but also very sad. So he wrote me that he understands that there's always a possibility that we may never see each other. Hate one. I didn't want to schedule anything, just wanted to go and speak. So yeah, he wrote me that he loves me. He understands that if anything happens, that he just wants me to know that he's very grateful for everything that I've done to him, the stuff that I taught him in this short time that we have been building our relationship together and stuff. So it was just realization that that good thing that I needed to happen has already been the best thing for me. It was already always there, and that's my son. And then the good thing that was in me was me being a good dad to him as much as I could be. And it was really that moment, again, realizing why life is important and always was most important to me, why it made sense when he was born. So yeah, at the same time though, he also said that he's sorry for not showing me enough of love. And I just immediately pulled myself back, and I'm like, how the hell can a child be sorry about that? It's just no way. It doesn't sound okay. And first I thought, am I guilty of this or what's going on? But then it crossed my mind, of course. I mean, he doesn't live with me. I could have never imprinted such a pattern and coping mechanism on him. Who else? He lives with his mom, and he has a close relationship with her and his grandmother. We were talking. He wants to come here. He wants to visit me. Of course, it's not ideal, but it's also not something a 15, 16-year-old couldn't live with for a few days. So we both spoke about it. Of course, I can make it cleaner, more comfortable, and just definitely more acceptable for him to stay here with me for a week, whether it's on this boat or somewhere else. It doesn't matter. And he has the ability to decide for himself. He's 15 years old. In Slovenia, legally, at that age, he can decide when he wants to visit his other parents or friends and whatever, as long as he's with another person that's age 18 or more, he's legally allowed to go anywhere he wants. He just needs to make sure that all of us as his caretakers and parents agree with that. So that being said, he of course explains to his mom that he wants to come and see me. His mom knows that I'm not exactly in the ideal conditions for, even the child to be around someone like that. I guess that's even my own opinion. I don't go and visit my little kids too often when I'm so depressed, because I don't want them to see me like this. So I realized that my dear old 15-year-old, best friend, son, and best relationship I've ever had with anyone in my life is suffering from an abuse at home. And it just upset me. Thanks God, he's a really wise kid. He immediately went to consult himself with the professional at school, and he did a great job. I spoke to her myself today. Amazing lady. Made me so much happier that he has now a safe space. She has a good background on myself and everything else that's going on, from as objective rapport as I could have given her from my own perspective. And she understands, and she did say that she will invite his mother and his grandmother to meet her. I would love to be there and see their faces, to be honest. Because I've seen his mother's face yesterday, my ex-wife, first one. Just trying to discuss things with regards to his visit with me and why it's important for a child his age to use any opportunity he can get to be with his father. And for myself too, because whether I go sailing around the world or whatever happens, I still want to see him. And he has the vacations soon. So basically it's our rights, our basic rights as father and a son. And they tried to prevent him, both of the ladies. I'm being sarcastic. They tried to prevent him from coming over here. And apparently it was, his mother is trying to use concerns of his safety and well-being, such as where are you gonna eat and how are you gonna eat, while he's here, which, it is difficult, but we're going to manage. I'm going to do whatever it takes. So that being said, we tried to discuss those concerns. She was quite snarky and trying to interrupt me while I was speaking, but also never providing a straightforward answer to my questions. Well, she tried not to, but I'm too strong for those things. I do, and I really wish I ever had closure with that woman, because she was the one that refused to go, for us both to go to a therapist and discuss whatever was the matter at that point when she wanted to separate. I was never the strong man enough to leave a woman that I loved, any woman that I loved, or any person that I loved. It's just life takes its own course, so I learned to not attach myself to people anymore, including my mother and my own family. But yeah, a closure with these people would be nice. It just doesn't happen because they don't see themselves, what they do to others, what they do to their children. That For example, after all of that conversation yesterday, and I set some boundaries. Back in the days, they would call it that I'm setting ultimatums, but it's not. It's just simple things like legally, when he's 15 years old, he can decide for himself what is safe enough and where he wants to go. And then also legally, no one is allowed to intervene and mess in a relationship between me and him. It's still ultimately a private matter. As long as I don't cause any harm to my child and I do not put him onto any path that could have harmed him, then there is no reason for anyone to prevent us from having a nice, healthy, loving relationship. So I definitely did tell them straight. Well, not his grandma. I wish I could. That dragon. But I told him at least how to protect himself, how to manage this dynamic, because it's clearly partially at least narcissistic over there as well. So, and he's doing really, really great. I mean, this kid is still teaching me. He's the one teaching me how much love he has for all the people, because he's incredible. He taught me that I am already getting love from one person so much more than all of the people, all the adults and all of the people that combined in my life together from a child. So enlightened. I'm so enlightened by this moment. Yeah, Tuan and Omen, when he comes here, I would like to invite both of you to meet us. I really wish that I will have a new boat by then. I'm going to check a boat on Monday. How I'm gonna pay for it, I don't know. But it's one of a kind boat. Only 41 of them were made. It looks amazing. I don't know how it looks on the inside. I've been well informed about everything about the boat from the owner, who is probably also just as an extremely rare person in Netherlands in particular. So I'm really looking forward to meet this guy and to meet the boat, to meet that beauty on Monday, which is my birthday. And yeah, I hope that we get to meet all of us. I know that you guys are kids. I can talk to your parents. I can whatever, come there and meet them and talk to you guys. So it's everything legal and perfectly transparent. But you guys are really cool because you've done also just as much as my kid to show me something special. So it doesn't even matter whether you're both right now online or not. I know you'll be watching this later, so please drop a comment, let me know. Later, we discussed about the Discord. It's prepared, and we're gonna have a way to communicate this without putting it too far out. So I'm gonna have another live stream. A short one maybe. I'll schedule it, and I'll drop a link to the Discord on that live stream, and later I'll remove it so it's not accessible to everyone so easy. I want it to be an invitation only thing, even though I set it up as a community already. So having said that, the fact is, yeah, if we meet, if we go and have fun together with my own kid, I want all the parents to be aware who I am, know me, even my passport, whatever, understand that, nothing bad's gonna happen and nothing stupid. So if I have a new boat, for example, we can go and just sail a little bit. Well, motor, because that boat needs some work still. But it's a good boat, works perfectly fine, and everything else is up to pure miracles, but somehow I have a really good feeling about all this. I don't know why. So that being said, tonight I had a really tough, really tough moment. It was kind of like a self-reflection in the darkness, where I realized in how many ways I have been neglectful and selfish when it comes to my own kids, the other three. Because, it's three small kids. It wasn't so smooth and straightforward as with my first one. But it's normal, like kids are kids, there's many challenges. And none of us can be perfect parents because it's something you learn as you go. So, but still, there are certain things that really felt very difficult. And it's not like I was beating them or something. Yeah, I slipped up a couple of times, spanked their butt, totally honest about it. But just generally this dynamic of being assertive, dominant, scary, as they said it themselves. Sometimes a little bit scary, they said. But, that's enough. It's scary. That's it. If a parent is scary to their kids, that's something that feels like sociopathic. And yes, that is the side of me that I was always scared of. Like, you know, it's, I think it's quite normal when you have been through so much abuse and trauma yourself, bullying and all that. I mean, it's normal to turn into somewhat of a sociopath, probably. A lot of people, the same, let's say, bullies and people who were hurt others later because that's the only thing they've learned. So it's not their fault. Like someone being born a psychopath or becoming a sociopath later, yeah, they are very mean, aggressive, evil people. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's more like a broken machine. You can fix it. Some things you can fix, and some things you just can't. If something got so much broken, like in terms of people, and I don't like the word broken, but there's no better analogy at the moment, at least. Some people are just so lost that they really can't find their own love, their own light. They wouldn't see the light of God if it appeared in front of them. And again, I'm speaking in the metaphorical matters here. It's not about religion, and it doesn't mean that I don't believe anything either. I don't confuse myself like atheists do. Every atheist is also a believer, just into something else. So, yeah. I've never considered stuff by nature and in nature to be good or bad, or evil and good, like, yes, darkness and light, daylight and nighttime. But both of them are a part of the same cycle. The yin and yang symbol is one of the best things, if you look at it. Within the heart of the darkness, you find source of light. And within the heart of the light, you find source of darkness. These things are also written somewhere in the Bible. I can't quote, but I know. And it means that as difficult as it can get, it's still really up to each and every one of us to overcome that trauma and that pain. And when you do, like in my moment yesterday, I feel really, I was crying. I was really hurt. Not because of what was happening to me and what is happening and what was done, but really because of what I had done in all my life to people that I hurt. Not intentionally, I just did. And at the same moment, observing myself in that situation, I realized people that can and are able to have this kind of consciousness are not sociopaths and psychopaths. So I went to sleep, and as I woke up, I felt calmer, more relaxed, and yeah, I can say happier, realizing that I am a good person, I'm a good man. A lot of good people make mistakes, and it's just fine. I was never judgmental, was never hateful. No, okay. I was hateful when I was a kid, but I guess that's just hormones as well, part of growing up. But hateful in a sense that, like, I hated everyone equally. So I'm glad that I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful for all the friends that I know that I have. And there's a lot, I don't know how many more people who actually watch this, because some did and tell me later. Some never tell me. And I understand the reasons why. I even love the haters when they come around. Or my ex-wife. Both of them. I still love them, just in a different way now. Because everyone's teaching me a lot. With the good and the bad. But I'm now learning to see the true and the real good where it is. It speaks through actions and attitude and gratitude. And I see through the people that are not worthy of that title, or at least not worthy of a title of a human being with a capital H. And this is not a judgment, it's just a statement of truth. And having been through this hell, true and true, not just back and forth, but true, and then once more true again. Hell and heaven exist just right where we are, not before or after death, but also in the here and the now. Everything, the past, the future, the present, everything is in the here and the now. And I remember reading the book of the dead from Tibet, and it says that hell has 7 stages, and so does heaven. I agree. Hell definitely has more stages. So now, having been through this journey, or still going through it, I can understand why people choose. It's not just mental health, illness or mental health disorders that lead us and guide us. We can choose. I chose to do whatever it takes. I didn't know what it's gonna take. I could have never imagined. I didn't know what kind of shit I'm going to attract. But I'm glad that I did. All of it. Including these chords and all of that stuff. Everything happens for a reason. It taught me many, many lessons I will never forget. I'm still on a journey to learn how to communicate more compassionately, kindly, respectfully, and peacefully. But when it comes to the truth, I'll always stick for it. I'll stand up for the truth. Myself, the ones that I love, and everything that is really good about the people in the world. Always. Even if it kills me. Thanks for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for the love and the support. I'm truly deeply touched by it. I could have not done it without the people around me. Not alone. And I'm forever grateful for it. That's why I'm back. Because there's already so much good around me. I just had to finally see myself first as a good person too. In true light of the goodness, not just the words. And cognition itself. You really have to feel it real to see that it is real. And from there on, anything is possible. That's how you free yourself from the matrix. Not with Andrew Tate's fake get-rich-quick scheme. Not through some bullshit morning routine and practices that might help, but it's all up to you. Each and every one of us have our own journey and our own path. And it's never easy. That's why most people don't do it and get stuck. The best way to unstuck yourself is to look in the mirror and figure out who the fuck you are. I love you all. Thanks.